Friends, I am so glad to see you. I don't know if any of you have been to what is called a burning bowl service in Unity, or a white stone service in Unity. Tonight we're combining the two of them in our Let Go and Let God service. When I was a ministerial student, I would hear those words, let go and let God, all the time. It was like this mantra. And finally I confessed. I said, what am I supposed to let go of? I said, let go, let God. And what am I to let God do? Well, that started a wonderful discussion, and we had such great inspired teachers, and we really developed an in-depth understanding in the time that we were in ministerial school. And when I had the privilege of teaching in the ministerial school, I made sure that the little cliches and mantras and all of that we were using, we really looked at in depth. What do we really mean? And so the letting go, I don't know if it's more difficult for us than the letting God, but the letting go is a decision-making process. When we had the 12 candles, the 12 powers service, we had one of the powers called wisdom. We're going to need our faith and wisdom and love and divine order tonight as we make decisions about what we want to let go of. And it is in our thinking that we're letting go. I remember as a child, for Lent, I always gave up the cookies I didn't like. I thought, because my friends were saying, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, we have to give up something, to show that we're righteous or something. Of course, then I had to ask, what is right? Never mind. And that took even longer to learn what that is. So I always chose cookies I didn't like, but Mother got wise to me really quickly. But in Unity, when we make choices about what to let go of, it's a perspective. It's an expectation. It's a judgment or a criticism that we have kept as a pet for a while. It's interior. It has to do with our souls, not our outer world so much, because that will come. When we make those changes within ourselves and let go of certain ways of thinking, everything will follow. Everything will match it. In our spiritual world, our emotional world, relational world, our world of work and home, everything in the outer is caused from what is within us. And so, I've given some suggestions tonight as to, does everyone have a handout? And if you do not, raise your hand. Do you have a piece of paper which is actually flash paper and a stone? Okay, and something to write with. So you don't need to do any writing now, because what we're going to do first is to utilize our handout to identify a few familiar ways. What I did in my mind, of course, was look at myself. What habits, what mental habits have I let drag on with me for years and years, never questioning and never taking out the trash? that those outworn thoughts, inaccurate, they don't reflect God. They reflect some of the difficult experiences we've had, usually. So we're letting go of a way of thinking. And when I wrote these, I don't do sermons or services twice. So when I spend the time and God works through me and teaches me things and corrects me and redirects me as I'm writing, and I got this all written up. I was just so proud. I'd just done such a wonderful job and about the letting go. And I showed it to a friend of mine who read through it very quickly and said, "Oh, those are my affirmations." And I'm going, No, this is what you let go of. But what she found on this was how she was really living her life. And I think we might find out, each one of us, that maybe one or two of these we are living. And what do we need to do? Make a change. And where does change come from? Choice. We are free to make the choices we need to make. And we have an imperative to make some choices. God loves doers, people who act, people who contribute, people who do something for what they value in life. The church, the home, the family, where you work, the world of nature, you're doing something to benefit what you value. And God values doers. But before we can be doers, we need to be deciders. We need to make decisions, make choices, make changes. Some of them may feel pretty easy to make, and some may not be so easy because it's like, well, I've always done it. Oh, good, quit. Whatever I've always done, you've always done this. Have you ever heard this? I don't know if you belong to organizations or even in a big family. Oh, we've always done it this way. And you're supposed to go, oh, okay, then I'll do it that way. But it's a very solemn thing. Do people usually smile when they say we've always done it this way? No, because they're wanting to teach us something. They go, you have to do this if you're a woman. You don't as a man. But as a woman, you have to, arms akimbo. We have always done it this way. And it's like, not anymore. This is what you're going to be saying to yourself. And I am too tonight. You know, it's, oh, I've always done it this way. Well, you're in the right place tonight because we're going to find out what you are willing, what we are willing to let go of. And another really good thing about this service is not only is it extremely personal, but it's also for those in your world, those you see on Sunday in this church or another, your neighbors. We're also saying it for people who really need some help in letting go and don't know where to go or what to do. See, so it's helpful to other people. What we say with our faith helps everybody. So I'm wondering, will you take a look at your handout at the very top? And what I will do is lead you through these statements. And you may find yourself in one of these, something you've told yourself you need to think and do. So I will start out by saying, I choose to let go of my thinking that, number one, together, I need to attempt to solve every problem I encounter. If you're good at solving problems, guess what? Everyone will bring you their problems. They really aren't for you to solve, usually. Encourage, yes. Praise that person's intelligence and their ability. But we can let go of some of those problems that we let kind of tag on to us. That, you understand what I mean when I say it's not our mission or it's not our assignment, and it takes such discernment. That's another one of our 12 powers of the Christ within us, of the Spirit of God within us. We can be discerning, and it really... So sometimes we have to say, let me think about it. I don't want to tell people no, and then I'm afraid to tell people yes, because then I've added too much onto what I've already agreed to do. I'm suggesting to say, if you are someone who takes on every problem, to say, oh, let me think about that. Be serious. Oh, let me think about it. Wait for prayer time and say, is this mine? Is this problem mine to solve? If it is, you'll get that inspiration as to how to solve it. If it isn't, there's just the stillness, which is good anyway. Let's keep going. I choose to let go of my thinking that, number 2, together. The folks who love me the most, understand me the best, and know what I need to be happy. I've never thought that, have you? Really, with all the counseling I've done and all these years I've been an ordained minister, I hear that more than anything. Well, don't you think they'd know after all these years what I want and what I need? Doesn't matter if they know. Tell them again. Tell them again. Say, if they loved me, then they would do. That's a human covenant. If they loved me enough, that person, my husband, my wife, my boss, my kiddo, would do what makes me happy if they really did. That's a human covenant. We need covenant with God. And that's what we will do in the second half of our service, is find out how we're going to let God help us. Because this is, it's a pitiful thing to say, but I've certainly said it in my life. The people who love me most understand. No, they don't understand you. That's why we're together. As best friends, as siblings, as board members, as whoever, you're together because you don't understand one another, and God has something for all of us to do. Keeps us alive and awake and present. We learn, we listen. We're closest with the people who couldn't possibly understand us. Sometimes. Okay? Number 3, I choose to let go of my thinking that, number 3, together, I must not let people know I am struggling, or they might think I am weak or needy. We're scared. We don't want people to say, well, my goodness, that isn't so-and-so a person of faith and intelligence? Well, we just can't give up when things are tough. That isn't what we're saying when we say we're struggling. You know what we're saying? I'm human. I'm human. This is a tough job, to be a human being. And to take on all the responsibilities we take, we're our biggest job. Of course we struggle. And we learn. And we step off the cliff every once in a while, and our angels are waiting there anyway. They know we'll do it, from time to time. But it's people we trust. Now let's be realistic about this. We find people to trust. That's a divine assignment. We find people we can trust, and we say, I need to talk with you, or I need you to listen to me. I'm really going through a hard time. And if someone challenges us, another thing to remember is we never have to justify. Does that make sense? We never have to justify why we're going through a hard time. Oh, it's because of this. It's because of that. No, you're a human being and you're struggling. That means you're growing spiritually and in every way. Number 4, I choose to let go of my thinking that, number 4, together, I feel obligated to continue fulfilling all the responsibilities I have ever accepted. I cannot disappoint the people who depend on me. Is that true? No. But guess what? Guess our helpers in holding on to this way of thinking. Who are the people to help us the most? The people who depend on us the most. Oh, you promised you'd do this, or I thought you were going to help me with that, or, well, you've always been on the committee, or you've always done this or done that. They are our helpers, and then we feel guilty, and we go, oh, well, sure, I will. Friends, don't do that. Please, please don't do that. You deserve to know that you've grown beyond that responsibility. It's no longer your mission. You see? And let others step in. You see? We keep that going of who's taking what responsibility. And it's amazing how many we take on and tell ourselves, well, that's what I get to do the rest of my life. I'll never disappoint people. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Let's be easier on ourselves and say, and communicate. Oh, that, to me, I think that's the most difficult, is if we've decided to let go of something we've done for someone, or for a family, or for an organization, to say, I've had to make a very big decision. I'm not going to participate in whatever. I'm not going to lead the whatever. No, someone else, it's their turn. But I dread saying that sometimes. I don't know whether you have that feeling too. It's like, I don't want their face. I don't want disappointment in someone's faces. I love smiles, but if you have to say, and I've had to do this, speaking of counseling, as a minister, I have had to say, I will never cease praying for you, but I am stopping listening to the same story. It has not helped you, and it has not helped me. If you want to let go of that story, you can come here and we'll talk about other things. But no, this isn't mine anymore, and you deserve more attention than I'm willing to give. Well, you're the minister, or you're the teacher, or you're the mama, or you're the daddy, or whatever. You ought to. No, that isn't how God works. That isn't how God works. If we're assigned, we'll know. Number 5, I choose to let go of my thinking that, together, I have the right to vent my frustrations whenever I want and expect my loved ones to just listen and support me. There are some kind of muted voices on that one. I don't know. It's like, I know we want that. I want that too. But it isn't fair. It isn't loving. It isn't, okay, it isn't helpful. Does this make sense? It really isn't good to put up with that, to just listen. Oh, again, about counseling. If someone wants to vent and come in, you're really frightened, you're really angry, yes, you do that at first, and then that stops. And you work on the problem, you work on your insights, you work on your perspectives, your expectations. Venting is step one, period. And it's not fair to let someone mismanage themselves. It isn't fair. It isn't helpful to just put up with it. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was going to say in counseling, I have said, I'm not a sounding board. I never will be for any meeting, however personal, however large a group I'm meeting with, one-to-one. I am not a sounding board. I'm as wise as I know how to be right now. I'm as caring and compassionate as I know how to be right now. I have faith that things are going to turn around for you, but I am not a sounding board. And if someone says that to you, have you ever had anybody say, I just need someone to listen, I just need a sounding board? Say, I haven't signed up for that. That sign-up sheet passed me by because I handed it over. Don't be a sounding board. No, no. You're too important. You're too smart. You're too caring. You're too inventive to allow that to happen. And if we have done this to people and expect them just to sit and listen and support us, there's another human covenant. If you loved me, you would just listen and support me. No, you don't. No, it has nothing to do with love. It has to do with the value you see in yourself. Are you only good enough to sit and listen? It would be like me talking to a music stand. Yes, just sit and listen. No, no, don't let anyone do that, because you're pretending you're not something you are, which is a child of God, a person in partnership with God. You're very well not a sounding board. Why, don't let anyone tell you that or act like it or start off on some wild tear. No, I think we've misunderstood the purpose of our being together. I'll listen, I'll respond, and I'll give minimum counsel and advice. That's all I'll promise. Number 6, I choose to let go of my thinking that, together, I am justified in blaming everyone who has ever neglected, hurt, or disrespected me, especially those who have caused me to fail when I could have succeeded. Any problems with this sentence? No one can cause us to fail, not even ourselves. No matter what someone has done to you, and people can do terrible things to one another. And I'm not in any way dismissing that reality in people's lives. I'm not making light of it. No matter what anyone has done to you, they cannot have the power to cause you to fail. In relationships, in your inner world of spirit and faith, in your work, as a member of your family, no one will ever be given that power. But if you've grown up with being told this, people blame, oh, if it weren't for. Have you ever said that or heard people say, oh, if it weren't for how badly I was treated? how I was neglected, and that happens a lot. If it weren't for my husband walking out, or if it weren't for the abuse I suffered, these are terribly difficult experiences. We're rattled to the core. We're abused as a child or as an adult. They just shake us to the core, but they cannot make us fail. Don't let them. Don't let anything that has ever happened to you cause you to think it controls you and your life. All right, your turn. Pen, piece of paper, write a couple of words that are included in these sentences, or ones that come to you as you're sitting here taking this in. Write a word or two about what you are, honest to God, willing to let go of in your thinking. Take those papers now, if you're willing to, and write a couple words on them, and we'll get them ready to present to the Christ light and see what happens. Katie. Okay. Have you written what you want to write? Will you come up this aisle? Diana, would you help with the tongs? Put the paper in the tongs when it's in and put it in the Christ light candle and quickly drop it into, have a little flame, drop it in the bowl, and not on yourself or the carpet. Let's go ahead and try it. Oh, the tongs don't hold tightly? Isn't this fun?
Again, I've never had to do this before myself.
Do we need other tongs?
No, this will work.
Okay.
I'm using the tongs.
Yes, you're guiding people, so you'll need to stand up here. When you're ready, come up and Diana will help you. See what happens when the Christ light gets a hold of what you want to let go of. What? And just drop it in there. That's great. Go ahead. Diana, you need to help with the... There we go. There we go. Hand people the tongs. guess we don't need to. We're bold characters. Kind of beautiful what happens when the light of God enters our lives and we're willing. We're willing to be partners. What's wrong? I know. Is it, Diana, would you add some of this to the bottom of the bowl? Are they consuming, being consumed? Diana, put a little. Oh, okay. We have to slow. Oh, I don't know. We're letting go of a lot. Pause a minute, Diane. Just let's wait just a minute. Oh. I know it. I know. I feel the same thing. It's like I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be sure. Is it still going all right? Oh, that's wonderful for us to see. Ah. And you might say, well, it's magic with this paper. It's going to burn up. This is the light of God. This is exactly what happens in our souls when we truly are willing to let go of something that no longer works. Diana, what is in the bowl now? Would you hand that to me, please? I'm hurrying the process. Is anything? Okay. You hand it to me. Watch the step. Oh my goodness, look what happened. Not there anymore. It's not there anymore. All this we had on our minds are simple ashes. All this we worried about, all this that has caused us to struggle. Nothing here but ashes. Blow away in the wind, just like any of the habits we want to let go of. Just set it back. Thank you. Thanks for helping. I was going to tell you to take a deep breath, and all I did was inhale the little bit of smoke that was. Okay. Now we're at the second half of our service. This is what specifically we're going to let God do for us. And that's what the let God let God do what? It has to be specific, really. It doesn't do that much good if we don't know what we want help with. This is Divine 1-1. Okay? This is Divine 1-1. Help me, God. This is what I need you to do. So your handout can be your guide here. I now let God, number one, together, lead me into the particular situations that I am divinely designed to enter. This, I need some in there. Smoke is a little heavy. We'll find out. A baptism, that's plenty. Everything is completely under control. Oh, Diana. Okay, so in other words, do you see how this is kind of a counterpoint to the very first thing we're going to let go of? God leads us to where we need to show up, and the places where we, our own individual selves, can make a difference and should make a difference. We don't have to lead ourselves. I heard someone on a TV program the other night saying the Lord's Prayer and kind of being animated about and adding his own words. And he said, lead me not into the temptation into which I have so eagerly and often taken myself. And it was like, that's real honest. It's just like, I led myself there. I've done it 1,000 times, same place. God, lead me. In unity, when we say the Lord's Prayer, we say, do not leave me in temptation. And the thought behind that is, into which I and others have led me often. It's, do not leave me in temptation. Now let's go to number 2. I now let God together love me unconditionally and understand me completely. Well, this is a counterpoint to number 2. God is the only presence, power, and love that sees us as we are and is in love with us. We're loved as though we're the only child God ever had. The Christ of God is the only child God ever had. The living Spirit, the living Christ of God is the only child God ever had, and we are reflections and representations of the light of Christ. So God loves us unconditionally. And I've also heard, I'm sure you have, and I'm going back to counseling, I'm realizing that how many references in my life go back to the people who have trusted me and talked with me and listened to me and sought help. And, well, so-and-so says he loves me or she loves me, appreciates me, but it isn't all the time. No, it isn't. God loves us all the time. God can't help it. God is love, the love in which we're born, the love in which we love ourselves and others. Human love is conditional. It just is. We're not perfect. We're not pure and perfect. We are not called to that. We're called to be the best individual human being we can ever figure out, whenever we can figure it out how to be. It's conditional. Everything with us is That's fine. That's the way we're supposed to be. There's no flaw or fault in that. Of course we love conditionally. That's our job. Understanding completely, like I said earlier, it's the people who are closest to us often don't love and understand the way we really need it. So we say to God, show me my next angel who wants to be with me. Show me that next angel who can help carry your love, carry your belief in me, carry your understanding of me, and help remind me, where is that angel? Okay? We're going to let God send us the angel. Now let God, number 3 together, listen to my story, soothe my troubled soul, and fill me with heavenly peace. Oh my goodness. Someone said to me the other day, clearly I had a lot on my mind, hadn't been sleeping well, and she said, oh, Susan, I hope you can really rest tonight and get your energy back. She said, I hope you sleep like a teenager. I thought, that's a smart way to put it. They're out. They're unconscious. You know, it's time to get up. No. So maybe I should say sleep like a baby, or sleep like a teenager, or sleep in heavenly peace. Dreamless sleep. And to be soothed, God listens, and to have that peace that is beyond anything we can create. Number 4, I now let God, 4, together clarify what responsibilities are the most appropriate for me right now, and assist me in releasing the ones that are no longer mine. Do you keep, some of us, let's say, keep adding responsibilities like a 2-year-old stacks blocks? They have a letter on them. Here's the alphabet, and we just stack up one responsibility after another. That is never God's will. I'm just going to tell you straight out, that is never God's will, for us to stack up responsibilities and think that that's a righteous life. Have you ever been told that, though? The more you take on, the more you give unselfishly, the more that you help other people, that is righteousness. I don't know if you came up in churches like that, but I heard that. You want to live the righteous life? You want to please God? You want to show God you're thankful for all you have? You add those up. Are you being too selfish? Most of the time, we're not self-oriented enough, and we're the ones who suffer. We're the ones who don't have enough caring coming our way, enough attention, enough assistance in our work and our life and our family. We just take, well, nobody's going to do that responsibility. I guess I'll just, well, I know how. I'll just take it on. Nope. It's not out. You'll know it. I don't need to have to tell you what responsibility that was someone else's, or you need someone else to do it. And you say, oh, I'll do it. Don't worry, I'll get it done. Nope. God does not want you to do that. Take on what you can and still have time for yourself. Time to read, time to listen to music, time to laugh, time to walk. Enjoy nature, time to see a best friend, time to do some. I love what we call hobbies. If you have a hobby, I hope you do, you know what that is, what you really would rather do, often. If you had a choice, which we do, but as human beings, we have certain responsibilities, but we have a lot more free choice than we really know. Often hobbies are. What we really want to do is, oh, when I retire, I'll. No, that's your life now. Remember when I was in college and my dad and mother had that come to Jesus talk about what I was going to do after college? What is your mind? What is your intent? What is your plan? We put you through college. What's your plan? And I sat there like every other junior and senior, and whether that's trade school, craft school, associate degree, whatever you're doing to educate yourself. And I kind of sat there like, I don't know yet. And oh, that was, can you guess that was the wrong thing to say? It's like, we put you in, you're to know these things. Like, oh, I don't know. And my dad was wise enough to say, no, wait a minute. He said, close your eyes and picture yourself doing something, some adult something that's where will bring your livelihood, fulfill you. And I thought, all of a sudden, I'm serious. This just came to me. God is blue, so it was out of the blue. It came to me. I said, I want to be in an auditorium or stage, and I want to talk to people. I want to love people. I want to tell people the best I know about how their lives can work better, how much, and I didn't have faith then really, church type orientation. I always taught the kids in the Sunday school or nursery. I didn't much cotton to what they were saying on the pulpit, but I did know in my future I wanted to have lights, a microphone, a stage. Guess what I didn't have yet? A message. Something to say, something that was worth it. And Dad said, well, I don't know how you're going to get that. And I said, well, that's not my problem. It isn't. It was God's to solve. And I am still stunned after 46 years as a minister, I'm still stunned that I was called. Stunned. Hello, God? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You sure? Now, you know me. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. No, I'm not, no. Thank you, but, okay. Oh, dear. We'll talk another, I think there's interference on the line. I'm just sure there was. You never think that you're going to be called, but you are called. Each one of you is called to something that I couldn't do. I don't know what, but there's a whole lot besides this that I don't know how to do. This is my calling. And another thing learned in ministerial school, I always like this, that, and it's kind of a sharp focus, but it's this: God does not call the qualified. That's good. God qualifies the called. Whatever you're doing is your ministry, and you have been qualified. That's what you've been going through. You've been qualified. You're learning, you're teaching, you're caring, you're putting your energy and intention in important things. But I was so relieved not to have to think that I was already pretty well on the way to being a minister. I hadn't been qualified yet. I'm getting close. After all these years, I'm getting close. but sure not perfect. Okay, where are we? Number 5, I now let God together guide me in the process of communicating with my loved ones in calm, respectful, and straightforward manner. It means what? That we don't make assumptions how people are hearing us and tell them the way we think they will have a good response, or what makes us look the best, what makes us look the smartest or most attractive or the most capable. Communicate straightforward. And we know that honesty is not always what's required. Now that sounds strange, I know. Remember, we're talking with people in various levels of self-assurance, you see, self-love, intelligence, experience, been guided in this way or that way. We need to use our wisdom in when to be honest. You know I'm not saying to lie the rest of the time. You know that. I'm just saying that full, candid, honesty, straightforward. We've got to be wise. We've got to be wise so that we don't overburden someone else. It's compassion, but calmness. You can tell by my voice that it's very easy for me not to be calm. And so I have to remind myself, slow down what I'm saying, center in, don't be impulsive, center in and say what you mean. Respectful way, who are you talking to? To whom are you giving your message that moment? You know who? A child of God. A replica of God. Right there in front of you. Why would we ever be disrespectful? And we've all been disrespectful. And it's like, maybe if I remember that's a representation of the creator of the universe. Respect that and sound like it. Number 6 on our paper, I now let God together erase my tendency to hold on to resentment against the difficult people and the painful experiences of my past. I let God replace this habit with a more mature response, the acceptance of my own accountability. Now we are in higher education, higher spiritual education, when we are determined, when we're deciders, when we say to ourselves, is that mine? Did I cause that? Did I create? What might I have contributed? Not only to success, but to a problem. What might I have said that could be framed differently? How could I have presented myself in a way that really helped others? Or who taught me something? Who taught me something? So accountability is that, what I call mastery of life. It's a master's degree when you're accepting accountability for everything we've ever said, everything we've ever done, everything we didn't do that we wish we had, everything we said we wish we hadn't. We are still accountable, and guess what power enables us to accept that, to have that strength? It's God, the one who gave us birth, our mother, our father. our divine parent and creator. That's who will help us. God replaces the habits that don't work for us, don't help us. God guides us, God listens, soothes us. God fills us with peace. God clarifies what direction our thoughts, our efforts, our lives need to go in. God loves us. God loves me. God understands. God heals. If we let go and let God. That's the lesson for our service tonight. Is every time we let go of something we don't need anymore, it makes room, and we let God fill it in more and more of our lives so that when people see us and hear us, they'll hear a little bit and a little more and a little more of God on this earth. So now, you get to do one more thing. Take the stone, and you have a pen or something you can write with, and on that stone, one of these words, the replace, erase and replace, guide, listen, soothe, understand, love, lead. Any one of these are a word that comes to you that you want God. You need God. We all need God to do something specific in our lives, and now is our chance to decide what that is and to make that divine choice from the Christ mind within us. So I'm going to be quiet, going to listen to music, and let you write. Now, this stone can have other words on it. Take your time and add other words as you want to. But this is for you to take home with you tonight and know that that's God's will for you. Bless your hearts. Amen.